Hi, Craig.
Hi.
It's so nice to meet you. I've been such a fan of yours for years. Parenthood was one of my favorite shows long before I had four small children. So, really nice to meet you.
You too. You too.
So, Green and Gold, what a sweet movie. It's such a heartfelt tribute to rural America and to farming communities. It's really sort of a sweet, nostalgic movie. So, tell me what drew you to this story.
Yeah, well, I think primarily it was, I guess, a journey of faith. A man struggling with being powerless and finding out that what he loved the most and generationally what he had put his hope and trust in was not yielding, if you will, the results. And he was despondent, and he began this. He'd had a relationship, I would say, fragmentally with God. And I think that in becoming so dependent on how his resiliency and then finding that empty, the fact that he had then to really, out of his despair and longing to keep something going that he believed in, a value, if you will, that have brought him closer to God in a way that I think the journey that he went through was in many ways similar to mine. So I think that drew me. And then the fact that where it was set and in an area that we don't hear much about or know much about, and a lifestyle that we really kind of take for granted. Who are these people and what are they about? And I thought that would be really interesting to try and not only accommodate, but try to put it out there so that you would understand the difficulty that they're faced with, but also the hope that they have, and this kind of resiliency and this value, this structure they have, community. So there were a lot of for me there were a lot of reasons why I wanted to do this.
Well, and you've been outspoken about your own faith journey, and you just mentioned that your character story does reflect your own. How does the message of trusting in God's timing reflect your own experiences in your life and in your career and in your own faith journey?
Well, it's everything. I mean, it's all about running away and then being brought back in, and trying to find solutions outside of what's real and what's true. And when that was not satisfying, and there was still that donut in my soul and in my gut, that I realized that there's something that I needed and a relationship that I needed to form, and realizing that I was powerless and that I needed to surrender to something, but I needed to know what and who I was surrendering to and what I was surrendering. So that began the journey, and it's been formidable. It's been wonderful. It's been agonizing. It's been certainly it's inspiring. It's been everything that it the promise of that journey for those that are struggling with who they are and what is the meaning. The promise of it is you will find a serenity and peace that you have never experienced before, that is so real. It is the truth, and it is the knowing that is so beautiful, and the mystery, because he is so rich in what he has to give us. And I think we limited that. I did. And I have yet to, of course, experience and explore all that there is. But I love doing it. And I think that's intriguing, and it's really fun.
Yeah, you've been a part of so many incredible projects, of course, including this one. How does your faith influence the different projects that you choose to be a part of, or does it have an impact on that?
Oh, totally. I mean, yeah, it's a question I ask myself, all the time. Is this worthy of him? Is this something I should do? And of course, that leads to prayer. And that leads to um, understanding the sovereignty of God, and that there's many ways that he can be revealed, in many ways that he will be glorified. And I don't have to, I'm not the arbiter of that. He is. And I have to realize that those decisions are are put before him, and I need to be aware of the fact that I need to listen to what his decision or what his voice may have me do.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, this movie really does honor the perseverance of farming communities. My grandfather was a farmer. Do you have any personal connections to rural life or to farming that influenced your portrayal of Buck, or the way that you approach this film?
Yes, I do. My family has a farm in South Dakota that they've had generationally for years, since 1848 is when my great grandfather came over, and then he served in the Civil War, and part of that serving was having been given 40 acres of land. So that farm has been there since that time and still going on. So my wife's family is also farmed in South Dakota, not too far away from the family farm where it's part of my legacy. So it was really kind of yeah. My father uh, also worked on a farm as a young man. So yeah, it was something I certainly identified with. I wasn't familiar with it totally, but I identified with it, and I was proud of it. It was like um, something that I was aware of, but I don't think I really realized the character of who these people are and the work that it takes to make it function.
Yeah, absolutely. So you do have so many diverse roles in your career. How does playing Buck in Green and Gold compare to some of your past projects, especially in terms of its focus on faith and family?
Well, I think, you know, you I'll mention Parenthood, for instance. I always thought that Zeke, the character I played in there, was also on his own journey, albeit slightly different and never quite resolved. And I think with, for instance, Buck in this movie, the guy that I play, that journey, which is a search for meaning and a search for God eventually, um, was also something that I felt that I could play. I was aware of it. Whether or not I could do it truthfully was another aspect to it, and so that's a whole different set of circum problems, if you will, or situation. So it was really trying to capture not only the lifestyle but the tenacity with which that lifestyle is approached, and the beauty in that is that's revealed is that the country that he's living in and working in, the farm that he's trying to keep going and has been established generations back, is so meaningful to him. For what reason? What is the hold there? And there's a connection to the land and to the earth and to its stewardship that I think we miss oftentimes. And I think because this guy happened to be a very small kind of organic farmer, if you will, he was living traditionally off and not using really any mechanization, and using horses to farm with, plow with, and also treating the soil with respect and in a traditional way. Those were areas that I thought were really interesting, and something that I wanted to participate in, to be able to portray. Uh, so that, coupled with my own belief, it was pretty much no brainer. Just go after it, you know.
Yeah. Well, Craig, thank you so much for taking some time to speak with me. Really enjoyed the movie. And thank you for all the projects you put out. They're always just, I think they're really special.
Thank you.
Thanks, Craig.